Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Rats on Film, the show where a bunch of film rats talk about and rank movies. Today on the show, it's a pirate's life for us. We're talking about the Pirates of the Caribbean films. On the show with me today, I have Jordan.
Yo ho, yo ho.
Tristan.
Savvy.
Dylan.
Yay.
And I'm your host, Xander. Welcome to the show, everybody.
I don't know, like, pirate words.
I really thought someone was going to say, I've got a jar of dirt.
I've got a jar of dirt.
I was waiting for it.
You could have done it.
Yeah, but I had the pirate's life for us thing.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Wow.
good.
I don't want to take too many things.
All right, let's run it back. We all say it this time.
We all have jars of dirt. And guess what's inside them?
Nothing.
Movie opinions. All right, so we're doing the Pirates of the Caribbean films, 5 movies. Very interesting origin to these. Started out as an adaptation of a Disney theme park ride. But I think for us, at least, you know, they came out in the 2000s. We were like the peak age to be watching these when they came out. I think this is super iconic movies. And all 3 of you at a various point have asked me to do this for the show. So iconic to you guys as well.
Do you guys actually know what the story of the ride is? Because every time I ride it, I'm like, what's going on?
I don't think there is an actual story other than just like there are pirates in the Caribbean.
I've always thought there was like something, like some kind of like tangential narrative that happens between like the scenery, but I was like, am I supposed to know what's, because you know how like all the Disney people like know all the lore between, but like about all those characters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have no idea.
I'm not sure that there's like a strict narrative. I think it's more like there are little threads in each scene and people like use their imaginations to tie them together, which is kind of the same as the Haunted Mansion.
It's just like vignettes.
Yeah.
So Disney's never made it official.
Until now. And then they added Jack to the
I was
ride.
about to say, yeah, also they've retroactively added certain things to the ride from the movies. So now there's maybe a little bit more story elements where like they're looking for Jack throughout the thing, but
Yeah, and in the ride, like in the movies, there are references obviously to like the scenes in the ride, like the dog and the guy with the pigs and
drinking the wine.
I have heard they've added many jars of dirt, and if you find all of them, you actually get Walt's frozen head.
They actually should make that an adult drink at Disney. Like if they sold the buried jars, like I would taste that. I think it looks good in the movie. Like it makes me want to taste it, especially with how strong it seems.
yeah.
All right, so let's get into it. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, 2003. I'll do little synopsises for these. Elizabeth Swann and Will Turner get roped into a group of pirates trying to free themselves from a curse.
Sure.
It's kind of hard to summarize
synopsis.
these.
Yeah. That's fair.
Immediate thoughts. I mean, I would say it's like a perfect movie.
I think it's one of Disney's best live action movies they've ever made. Period.
Yeah. It might be what I think is the best.
Yeah, I think it's up there.
There's so many good things about this movie. Just
Yeah.
the opening scene really sets the tone and creates like this intrigue that a lot of movies just don't have, and I'm immediately locked in.
Yeah, it is a really strong opening for a lot of reasons. I feel like the intrigue is there. It sets the visual style that stays at least for the first few. And it feels like a pirate world. And I feel like that is cool. We're on ships, we're on the ocean, we're in period costumes. It's very immersive to the aesthetic that they've built here. And I don't know what the actual historical accuracy of this is, but at least in my brain, like this is what Pirates of the Caribbean was. Like this is that era specifically, just perfectly captured on screen. I love it.
Yeah, it's quintessential pirate. Like if you think of pirates, more than likely you think of Pirates of the Caribbean. It's just so perfectly executed in the look and feel of piracy.
Yeah, down to the costumes, the performances, just everything is really immersive in this first film. Like you kind of just feel like you're in this world and everything is working together so well. You have, obviously an iconic performance from Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow. And then you have Will and Elizabeth like becoming really important characters, both of them. And then, a pretty good antagonist in Barbossa. And then the score on top of it just like brings everything together. And I don't know, it's just very immersive and it feels like you're in this unique pirate world. That really sets the tone for the entire series. I think a lot of it is set up in this movie. Like even in the 5th one, it's like the same score cues. So I think this one does a lot of the heavy lifting of like getting you into this pirate's life.
Yeah, I think it's good you bring up the cast of characters because I do think that's a huge strength here, and specifically in the first movie. I think all the characters are really strong. You have really good protagonists that you're following. You've got antagonists. You've got Norrington. You've got Barbosa, and everybody feels really unique. Everybody feels like they're complementing each other in different ways, and they're adding different things to the scenes, and they're playing off of each other really well. The Johnny Depp performance as Jack Sparrow is incredibly iconic here, and I feel like I don't know what the truth of it is. It feels very improv. It feels very off the cuff. It feels very organic, and I think that the rest of the characters playing straight sometimes to play off of that, or maybe like buying into what he's doing, helps elevate it a lot.
Did any of you like gasp when Zoe Saldana randomly?
Yes, I forgot that she
I
was
always
in this.
forget she is in that movie until that
She
scene.
slaps him in the face.
She slaps him in the face.
What?
That's why she's the highest grossing actress of all time.
She has been
start
in
somewhere.
literally every major franchise ever.
Yes, so true.
But I feel like to kind of just like based on what we were talking about with the slap in the face, like I think something I really like about the movie is that it has like a very old Hollywood heightened sense of like physical comedy, which I would like. I feel like if they were to make that movie today, it'd be like cut after cut after cut, and there's just like no thought to like, how do we make this look funny?
Hey, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
No, and that's a great point. I think that this is like the perfect blend of action and comedy.
Yeah,
because the set pieces are all so good in this movie, and honestly in the first three, I think. And then the comedy is really good. Johnny Depp, like we talked about, gives such a great performance, and I would say his most balanced as Jack.
Do we think that as a collective that this is his best performance ever?
I think it's his most iconic.
I agree with that.
I wouldn't say best.
You don't think best?
Yeah, I don't know about best, but definitely one of them.
I'm not a particular Johnny Depp fan as a performer. He's always been very weird. I feel like the weirdness works really well for him here.
But I will say one thing that I really love about his performance is that he's not off-putting. I think that's one thing that the Jack character and Johnny do really well in this whole series, but especially in the first movie, is like everyone's kind of saying he's like the worst guy ever and you should be afraid of him and not trust him. But he kind of always is nice to everyone. Like he isn't really double crossing anyone who doesn't deserve to be double crossed. And I think that's why, at least me, but audiences in general love him, because he's like morally ambiguous, but also has his own moral compass. Yeah. You know, not with a compass, but like, it works.
I agree with you about that. That is definitely true. And I feel like it's funny, the recurring bit that everyone always thinks he's lying. And quite often he's 100% told the truth. And the only reason people have done what they've done is because they assumed that he was lying to them. Going back to what you and Tristan were saying, Dylan, about the action here. I think the action set pieces are incredible throughout a couple of these films, but this one really set the tone for that. I think the blacksmith fight in the beginning between Will and Jack is super iconic, incredibly well choreographed, incredibly well shot, really, really fun. And I think the final fight, it's not only a great premise, but a great execution of it.
Yeah, and that's something that these first three movies do really well, is the CGI and the effects are so good. Even today, they look pretty good in terms of other things like that are coming out. Compare that to the two later movies, and wow, like that last set piece in the fight in and out of the moonlight, like the way they were able to do that in 2003 and make it look so good is honestly incredible.
Yeah, I think one thing that this movie and the next two, but talking about this one does really well is that within all of the action sequences, we get character development, we get story progression, and we get like some world building even in some of them, which I think is something that's hard to do in a lot of action movies, and why I don't like action movies most of the time, because a lot of action movies for me just feel like you're watching stunts for the sake of watching cool stunts. And I get that, but it's not like a storytelling device to me. But in this one, it is. Like going back to the blacksmith fight, that's the first time they're meeting. You're learning a lot about Will because he's like this guy who just said that his boss made a sword, you know, and then he goes and then you're like, oh, he's the guy that's making the swords. And he's like fucking badass, you know?
Yep.
So, and then he's meeting Jack. You learn more about Jack and how he interacts and like the way that they fight. And it's progressing the story because everyone's obviously looking for Jack. And at the end of the fight, they have to decide what to do, you know. But I think that's one thing that these movies, especially this one, does really well. Like the action keeps the story moving and you get a lot of fun character. And in the last fight, too, you get little snippets of character from everyone in that fight, basically.
I think that is a really great point because one of the moments that I really loved that I think plays into this is the moment when Will has broken Jack out of jail and they're trying to steal the big ship. And Norrington sees them trying to steal this big ship and he goes, he's the worst pirate ever. And it's actually a whole ruse.
Yeah.
And then the second in command goes, that's the best pirate ever. And it's a little, it's not even really an action sequence, but it's plot progression because they need to go after Elizabeth, but it's also character development of like, oh, this is who Jack Sparrow is.
And it's funny.
And it's funny. And I think throughout the movie, that's true where scenes and the way this stuff is constructed is serving on multiple fronts.
Gotta shout out Keira Knightley. I love her. I love her in almost everything that she's in, but especially in these movies. I think this is like peak Elizabeth before she gets a little annoying.
Yeah.
Which I obviously love her for, but this is like her best movie to me as a character because I'm with her. Like I see why the pirate's life is so enticing in this one, and it's before she just makes rash decisions that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
So
I quite like her as a character for two reasons. One, I love that this is a Disney movie, but it's pretty horny. Yeah. And
they all are.
Yeah.
All of them are.
She's a big part of that, and Jack's a big part of that, and Will's a big part of that. Like that trio.
Everyone looks so hot all the time.
But also they establish in this film, and to Jordan's point, I agree with you, to a more reasonable level, just the boldness of Elizabeth. She is a sheltered girl of this era. She's got an overprotective father. Everything's been arranged for her, whatever. She lives in a palace where her dad's the governor. And I just love the confidence with which she goes, I heard about this once. I'm parlaying with pirates. I'm making this accord. I'm convincing them of this. I'm tricking them. I'm not listening to Jack Sparrow about what his plan is. And she knows nothing about anything that's going on. I think it makes for a really fun plot here.
That's the kind of feminism on film that I like, which I feel like all feminism on film is good. But like, I feel like if that were to come out now, she would have like 10 punchlines about being like a piratess. Whereas like in this movie, she just like does. She just has her own initiative.
She just asserts herself.
And she's like, fuck you. Like, I'm just going to go do this. I don't care about you. And that feels so much more genuine to me than like when Marvel throws like 5 punchlines about being a woman into a movie.
She does feel like a real person, right? I feel like she's someone who has been sheltered, but kind of like yearns for adventure.
yeah.
Yeah. You feel like she initially gets captured and she does parlay and you're like, oh, and then the whole plot is trying to save her and you think she's going to be like your stereotypical damsel in distress, but she's really not. She's out here making plans and having motivations to try and further the plot. And like, you know, she realizes that, oh, I kind of made a mistake. I'm going to try and fix it by agreeing to marry Norrington, as long as, you know, I can rectify my mistake. She's not just, you know, doing stuff to do stuff.
Well, I also love too when she thinks she's being smart, but she's really not. When she tells them her name is Turner, thinking, I'm the governor's daughter. If I tell them who I am, they're going to kidnap me and ransom me for money. I'll just use Will's name. He's a nobody. Not realizing what the repercussion is. I think that's great screenwriting.
She doesn't know about Bootstrap Bill.
Exactly. Yeah. She doesn't know. And I think that's great writing because you're like, oh, what's happening now? Why are they taking her? Are they just double crossing her because they're pirates? Like, get her? Or you're starting to get more layers to what's going on here. And a moment where she thought, I'm outsmarting them, she actually did herself dirty.
One thing I love about this movie too is that the villains are not big bads. They're not like these big bads that need to die, you know, like it's Barbossa and it's Norrington. And I think both of them are kind of fun. I also kind of love Norrington. I'm sorry.
I mean, we know. I do as well. I'm a defender.
I'd jump off the cliff if he asked me to marry him too.
Yeah.
Because your corset's too tight.
Yeah, no. Just because.
That would be my excuse. One thing I will say that I really like about this one is the horror aspects they incorporate. Like that first sequence where we find out that this is a cursed crew and we see them in the moonlight, is when I watched it as a kid, was terrifying. Like it was so scary, and like they're not even like actively trying to scare you. They're just doing normal things, you know, running the ship, and it just happens to be this terrifying looking group of people because they're skeletons and they're cursed.
You know what's kind of cool about that sequence is it kind of feels like an amusement park ride.
Exactly.
Which is interesting. It's based on that, like the way that it goes around. It shows you all the different parts of the ship. She gets picked up by the guy that's swinging. Like you kind of get brought around the ship and introduced to all these different characters, and it is very like shocking as a reveal.
That's like something I like really loved about like kids movies when we were growing up. Like Harry Potter's like that too, where it's just like, don't treat kids like they're just like, there's some scary shit in the world, and here it is, like you're gonna get scared. Like I feel like if that was made now, it'd be like him would be like a force ghost that's like not scary at all, that just is very nice and is well lit. and he's like nice to well.
Yeah,
like I feel like
lighting.
the movie has so much like dark stuff for kids, like where it's like you're talking about like affairs and getting drunk and, you know, being horny and ghosts and death.
I obviously I agree with you, Xander. You said earlier like that this feels very pirate, and to Dylan's point, I think it does feel pretty real and like genuine to what pirates would be like. Like they don't not talk about alcohol or not talk about women. You know what I mean? Like there's an element to it. Obviously they're not like
They're scummy.
pillaging,
They're
but, like,
killing.
yeah.
They're stealing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because they're the main characters. You know, Will and Elizabeth don't start as pirates, but they very quickly get on board with the pirate's life.
Yeah. And the movies kind of make being a pirate cool.
Yeah.
It's like the Goodfellas for pirates.
Makes it look really glamorous and not like you're gonna die of scurvy.
Exactly.
It does look a little stinky.
Yeah. Especially those skeletons.
I feel like after watching all of them, I was just like, I want to go to the beach. Like all the locations are so beautiful. Like I just want to run around some ruins and like just like lay on the sand and like, I don't know. Like I feel like they look so, you can tell I mean, you know, it gets later and it gets crazy, but
Yeah.
in the first few movies, it's very like, you can tell it's like all location work and it looks amazing.
Yeah, it is really, the location shooting is really cool.
It adds to it. It holds up better over time. It makes you feel like you're more immersed in the world, and also just like it looks better. It really does look better.
You can't compare.
I mean, I said it before, but we just had to take a second. The music is so good.
Yeah,
The main score for these movies, like amazing, iconic.
It's
so good.
It's one of the most iconic modern scores, I think. I hear it and it makes me feel like I'm on a ship at sea.
It's just one of those movie scores that feels like a movie score. Like it like gets your heart racing. You know, like you're like, oh, I'm in it. Like this is an adventure.
Very epic.
Yeah.
Once it starts going, you're like, you know, something awesome is about to happen, and you get really excited watching the movie.
Perfect movie.
All right, we'll start on the top for now.
Of course.
Next up on the list, Dead Man's Chest, 2006. I'm not going to say Pirates of the Caribbean before all of them because they all have it.
Well, I'm confused.
Basic synopsis for this one. Captain Jack Sparrow has a debt to pay with Davy Jones, and he's trying everything he can to get out of serving 100 years aboard the Flying Dutchman. Can we start with this about this one? I did not realize that this movie was not well liked.
I don't know how. Personally,
I think this
love
one
this
might be
one.
my favorite.
Oh, yo, spoilers for the list.
but fair though.
Hey,
like
Tristan, me too.
Yeah, you were saying it has a Rotten Tomatoes.
This
score?
has like 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
52, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't understand what the dislike is. The only criticism I would really give this movie is that it's not a complete movie, right? It has middle movie syndrome.
Yeah.
They shot it back to back with World's End.
And it's a cliffhanger.
Right, it ends on a cliffhanger. That's really the only knock I would give against this. Everything else, I feel like they one-upped what they did in the first one. The action, the spectacle, like we know the characters now. We get to play more with their dynamics with each other. Visually, I think it's still really solid and really great. The visual effects, Davy Jones looks incredible. There's a lot of really cool stuff that I really respond to in this one.
Yeah, it's a really fun world expansion from the first one. Like, you get a little bit more of the lore and the magic of the world, like the curses, and you get a little bit more in like the pirate side of things. But yeah, I'm really confused why people don't like it. I think this is like A+ filmmaking almost across the board. Like, I think it's really good. The wheel scene when they're on the island and they're fighting, like, just a moment for that scene because oh my god, so good.
I think that's one of my favorite all-time movie fight scenes. I don't know how high it would rank, but I would have that in the conversation for my personal favorites. I think it's the whole thing, starting from the beach, going to the top of the church to the wheel. It flows so well. The choreography is great. The way it's shot, the way it's directed, I think it's excellent.
And like what I was saying before too, here, like, it's three characters well fighting each other. So like you're getting character moments. It's not just your hero fighting, random bad guys. Like there's like, it's a whole, fight on fight on fight. It's so good.
This movie, we'll get into this a little bit later with some of the other ones. This movie, I think, nails the double cross aspect that they quite like. The screenwriters are quite into in these movies.
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh.
They love a double cross. I think this movie has the appropriate amount of double crossing. And that scene in particular, I think, is a great one where there's actually a real reason why Jack and Will and Norrington are all fighting over the chest.
Yeah.
And it is this thing where you as the audience are like, ooh, who's gonna win? Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna come out on top? And then what will that mean?
Mm-hmm. Also just a really fun MacGuffin in this movie. Like the heart in a chest is just really fun, and then like they take the heart out, so then there's like more fun, there's a jar of dirt fun. Like,
this is me being dumb, but like, what is the actual lore behind Davy Jones? Because I only know about him from SpongeBob. Dylan, I was gonna bring this up too. That's my knowledge base for him. It's basic. It's just like it's just like
he's basically
it's like sailor lore for
he's like Charon,
like death,
or not Charon from Greek mythology. He's ferrying the souls of the dead at sea to the afterlife.
His locker's like purgatory.
Because if somebody stopped me on the street yesterday and was like, "Tell me about Davy Jones," I'd be like, "He has tentacles. He has a key under his beard." He looks like an octopus head.
He somehow, his tentacles are really good at playing the organ.
Yeah, that's crazy. I love the organ scenes.
I love that scene too.
Bill Nighy with an all-time performance here.
So good.
Banger.
The way he says Jack Sparrow too is good, unlike some other villains in this series.
The way he says Jack Sparrow, his arrogance, his visceral just hatred of everybody else at all times. He's a really, really good antagonist.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite villains of all time, I think, because he's like a lover boy. Like, I love those like, beaten down lover boy
the
villains.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, like I'm so here for it. So I love like that. That's his storyline. That like he fell in love with Calypso. It's crazy, and I love it. It's so good.
I think for me, it's just that like how his design is like, he's terrifying. Like as a kid, like that was scary enough, but like, even as an adult, when you watch it, like you're like, if that confronted me, I would kill myself. Like I wouldn't even know what to do. Like his ship is scary, his crewmates are scary, and then he comes out and he's like an octopus person, and he's like, I literally, you're my servant for life. I'm like, no. Absolutely not.
The shot where Jack Sparrow is looking through the spyglass over at the ship, and then he puts the spyglass down, and he's right in front of him. That's nightmare
jump scare. Yeah, that's like actual jump scare.
And then this movie also, like, as a kid, like fully traumatized me because I didn't know what a kraken was. And when that first big tentacle comes out of the water, I was like, no. And like when I was rewatching it, I was like, oh, this is like giving me all the PTSD again, because it like awakens all that, like the horrors of the sea, which is like the theme of this movie, I think.
The Kraken is a great addition here. The sequences where it's destroying the ships, so cool, so visceral, so scary. Really, really like, oh my god, like what would you do?
Yeah, there are moments in this one where I'm like, how are they gonna get out of this? Like, how could they possibly beat this?
Don't think we touched on it, but the ship battles in this one are like at the end with the Flying Dutchman, and like they're so good in this movie. Like you said, I don't know why this one gets such a bad rap. It's everything about it is so good. it's the epitome of like a perfect sequel, in my opinion. It takes all of the elements of the first one and expands upon them. There's repercussions from actions in the first movie, and it's an amazing movie. It's so good.
To me, it feels like it like harkens back to a time which is like more rare. It feels like a Project Hail Mary or a Spider-Verse, where it's like you can tell that like the directors like did exactly what they wanted. It doesn't feel like Disney had like 50 million notes about like, oh, like make Davy Jones less scary. It feels like they left him alone and then they came back and they were like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah, we didn't shout him out by name yet, but Gore Verbinski has really killed it on both of these first two movies.
Definitely.
I love him. I wish we had more swashbuckler movies.
Yeah, they're just such fun adventure movies, really, when it comes down to it. One thing I love about this movie, because I love Will Turner with my whole heart, is the Stellan Skarsgård. I think
he's great.
He is
so
amazing as Bootstrap Bill. The way we were talking about Bill Nighy as Davy Jones and being able to like emote behind the CGI, but just Stellan being able to emote like that heartbreaking storyline of a father trying to make the right decision for his son and his son just wanting to make the right decision for his father. Like it's so good.
Well, it's a great character as well because it ties into the first movie, right? Jack got mutinied. He was part of the crew. He stood up for Jack. They killed him. That's what led to him being on the Dutchman. And now he's here to pull Jack back to the Dutchman. That sequence that explains what's going on is really, scary. And it's a great performance from Stellan Skarsgård. Such a great actor.
He made me feel so bad for him, which is like, it's like weird because he's like terrifying looking, but you're like,
no,
it feels like Frankenstein.
I like literally teared up this time watching it. I'm
like, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah. He's just a man. He's living life for the first time.
You touched on it a little bit, but Elizabeth here in this movie too. We've got the further advancement of her into her life of piracy. You said, she's wearing men's clothes. She's fully in disguise. I love her tricking the sailors into thinking there's a witch on the ship because they find her dress and they're just so stupid. She's flying it around, getting them to take her to Tortuga. I think that whole bit is great. Then at the end, I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you think you know about Davy Jones and all of this shit, but
she's crazy, but it like works out for her.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, where did she learn how to sword fight? Like Will was learning when he was making them. Where did she learn? I don't know, but she's good at it.
She had a little throwaway line where she was like, just to let you know, Will's been teaching me how to fight with the sword. And it's like, oh, okay. How much time has passed? Because you're pretty good.
You're fucking good now. What happened?
What I like about her in this one is she knows what she wants and she's just beelining for it. Nothing will stand in her way. She's going to get her man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the Elizabeth Jack relationship in this movie.
Questionable decision maybe, but kind of fun.
Oh, I love it. I love even the hint of a love triangle. I love it. So
how do you feel about her killing him?
I mean, low-key deserved.
Well, it really completes her circle as becoming full pirate.
Yes,
she's betraying Elizabeth from the first movie. She would have been like, come on, Jack, we can all go. But now she's like fully in pirate Elizabeth. And so she's like, she betrays him.
And all she wants is Will. So Jack's in the way.
And then Will was like, yo, maybe I'm in the way.
And rightfully so. He was kind of in the way. Their little flirtatious, whatever you want to call it, is quite fun.
Oh,
I
it's
do
just
like
so
it.
fun to watch.
Do you ship them a little bit?
No. I don't. I really don't. But I love Elizabeth and Will. We'll get into that in the next one. But
Me too.
But I do love the hint of it, love triangle. I think I just love misunderstandings that make people jealous to increase the sexual tension. So this is peak for me.
I think I kind of like it because it's like, I feel like, like pirates, a lot of them probably never had a single partner for their whole life. So
Definitely.
I was like, oh. Okay,
Well, when they meet up with like the women, they're all like hitting them. They're like,
He only deserves some of those slaps.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I think what's fun about it is she's flirting with him, and there's an element of, okay, it's to get what she wants, it's to save herself, but there's also an element of like, is there something here? And we'll never know.
We'll never know.
The ending of this, like you said, Xander, it's very much suffers from middle movie, but that ending, like that reveal that like, oh, we got to go save Jack. Who's going to help us? And it's Barbossa, and you're like, it was like the perfect ending to that movie to lead into this big bombastic finale with these characters. But yeah, that ending where Barbossa is revealed was so shocking when I was a kid. I was like, I didn't see that coming.
I think the shot of Jack facing up against the beastie is iconic and very stuck in my brain. And then into that reveal at the end. What I'll say is, I think it'd be stupid if I didn't like Barbossa so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing.
The fact, like, you know, there's an element to like devaluing the death of characters in this franchise consistently, where Jack dies in this one, they just go get it back right away. Barbossa dies in the first one, he comes back in the second one. But I like those characters. Keep them around. I don't care. Him eating the apple's a great callback. I think it's fun.
It's so fun. I think we also have to shout out like the extended cast of characters, because a lot of the pirates are really iconic in their own right. I don't know any of their names.
Oh, like guy and his friend.
The one-eyed guy and his friend.
Pintel and Rigi. Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so good.
They're iconic.
As like the comedic relief and just like this duo. And then I believe it's Pintel is the one with one eye. Just like all of a sudden we'll just have something like prophetic and like story driving to say. And you're like, I like that it's just this doofy pirate, you know?
That bit is great, where he has the whole thing about like greed, and he fully assesses why everybody is fighting over this chest, and he just goes, maybe we'll just relieve them of the temptation in the first place. We'll just take it away. What good people we are. I love that bit.
Even just having his eye pop out all the time, it's just like, it adds to the fun of these movies.
Yeah, I really like how it expands like pirate lore and like sea lore to me, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like I wasn't nose deep in pirate books and
I wasn't
nautical mythology.
Not same.
And I was like, oh, like Tortuga, like when you like learned about that, you're like, oh, like this is all like interconnected, and you have like the Kraken. So, but I feel like it's done in like I think the later movies get a little too Marvelified with the like how extreme we're getting with the magic and the mysticism of the pirate lore. But I like that this one has such a good like tone where it's like with Tiadama, like she's just like a scary presence. She's not like shooting red magic out of her hands.
I love her. I think she's great.
Like I think her presence is just like fun because it's like, oh, like there's this whole other scary side of the pirate world besides like, you know, skeletons, which I feel like is like the most common thing. Like there's like other scary things about the pirate's life. And I was like, I always thought that was cool. Like all the different little facets and how well they like interconnect and make sense together.
I think, yeah, this one just does a really good job at, you know, expanding the world, but also calling it back to, like, I love that, like, Norrington is disgraced. And it's like,
that's fun.
Fighting for his honor, basically, to go back into the real world.
He joins the crew for a bit because he's got nothing better.
But, like, what a fun thing to do for, like, an antagonist from the first movie. Like, it was creative and integrated into the story in a way that didn't feel overwhelming. Like there aren't too many characters that I care about in this one doing too many things, which happens a little bit later. So I think it was like creatively weaved through in this one, woven through.
Yeah, agreed.
I wrote, Norrington looks amazing with brown hair.
Agreed.
The brown hair and beard.
It was doing things for the girlies.
All right, where do you guys want to rank Dead Man's Chest?
I like it more than the first one.
I like it more than the first one as well, as I have already ruined for everyone.
I like the first one better. I think it's more iconic, but I love this one.
I also like this one more. Ugh. Sorry, Jordan.
It's okay.
I think arguably the first one is more iconic, and it's honestly also maybe a better movie.
I just don't like that Jack dies. Honestly, like if Jack didn't die in this one, I know he comes back, but if he didn't, maybe I would like it more. I don't like that.
This is like your No Time to Die for Buck.
Yeah, sure. I just am like, ugh, Jack can't die.
I think maybe the first one's even a better movie, but I like this one more. There's so many things I like here. The rats have spoken. Hey, listen, all you haters out there who don't like this movie, maybe revisit it. Go give it another shot. It's quite good. It's quite fun.
And grow up.
Yeah, we should look up. You know how like
Yeah,
you know how like
grow up.
Rotten
Watch Pirates
Tomatoes has like a full archive from like how the reviews came out. We should look up all the reviewers and call them out publicly.
Call them out.
Be like, what's it like to not be fun?
Serious. Yeah. I think not liking this movie is you're not very fun.
Banger.
Next up on the list, At World's End, 2007. Direct follow-up to this, they shot them back to back. It's a continuation of the story. They're going to go get Jack back, and they're going to stop Davy Jones from claiming Jack's soul.
And save piracy.
Yeah, right, and save piracy. Yeah, we didn't really talk about the introduction of
Beckett.
the new villain in the second one. Beckett, yeah. He's not as big of a role in the second one. He is important. He's kind of orchestrating why things are happening, why Elizabeth gets roped in, why Will gets roped in, but he definitely comes to the front of being an antagonist in this one.
Initial thoughts, about 17 too many double crosses in this movie for my liking.
There's too many double crosses. There's too many characters. We've alluded to both of them, that the other movies maybe had the sweet spot. They got a little carried away on this one.
Yeah.
100%, Tristan.
I hadn't watched this one in a while, and so rewatching it, I was like, there's just too many. It was just too many.
You know, it's interesting, Jordan, you ended the last one talking about how you don't want Jack to die and Jack needs to be here. I think this movie probably struggles a bit with that fact. They chose to kill him in the second one, but then they almost immediately go, yeah, but we can't have this movie without Jack. So the beginning of the movie's kind of just a speed run to get Jack back.
But it's not fast enough, in my opinion.
It's like 40 minutes before they get to Jack. This movie's almost 3 hours long. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes.
I like the Singapore pirates. I like they're trying to do what they did probably more successfully in the other ones, which is pulling in pirate law, these pirate kings.
I love like the International Pirate Committee or whatever they're called. I love them.
The Brethren Court.
There's some interesting things going on here, but I think the movie shows very quickly that it doesn't quite have the legs that it maybe wishes it did without Jack's presence. But then also conversely, when we first get back to Jack, I think maybe they overdo Jack as well. They're like, we've been missing him. How can we make the most Jack sequence ever? And maybe that's too far as well. I think we talked about in the first one how great the ensemble is, and I think that remains true in the second one. I think this one, the balance is a little bit more off.
There's also just too much going on. Like there's so much packed into this movie that we shouldn't really be wasting time getting Jack back.
There's like 3 or 4 primary plot lines going through this movie at one time. And it's kind of like juggling. And then the other thing that really like kind of bothered me, I guess, maybe that's not the right word to use, but we get like over halfway through the movie and then Barbossa's just like, hey, yo, by the way, we could release Calypso instead. And you're like, what the hell? What? Like, I thought we were just trying to like basically find a way to kill Davy Jones to release him from Beckett's control and then, you know, save piracy. But then they're like, yeah, but a goddess of the sea instead. And I'm like, this kind of, it just comes out of like nowhere.
It's too many things. There's too much. Beckett makes a deal with Davy Jones and he makes a deal with Will and he makes a deal with Jack, and Elizabeth doesn't know what Will is doing and Will doesn't know what Elizabeth is doing, and it's even as the audience you can't follow it. And then sometimes it's only like a scene or two that someone has an objective, and then 2 scenes later they've changed their mind and they have a new allegiance or a new goal, and you're just like, oh my god.
I mean, like, it all makes sense, but it's too much to care about because everyone's changing their motivation 2 scenes later.
Yeah.
Now, all that to say, there's some shit in here that I do like.
Oh, yes.
I think the up is down sequence,
that's
getting
really
out of Davy Jones' locker, is really cool. It's really clever. It's really fun. It's a good Jack moment of he figures it out through just fumbling his way about. And then again, instead of just telling everybody what he's done, he just starts being a freak. Look over there. I like that sequence.
And then
quite
there's
a bit.
moment when the ship flips, you're like, did it work? Yep. You're like, oh, what did they do?
Are they all just gonna drown?
Yeah.
Insane Barbossa here. I think he's quite peak in this movie. Okay, we talked, Jordan alluded to this a little bit. Will and Elizabeth are at their most annoying in this one.
Yeah,
for sure.
They get Barbossa to save Jack because he's been to where Jack has been before. He's the only one who knows how to get there. He takes them there and they immediately are like, don't listen to this guy, he's fucking crazy, and try and undo what he's doing. And he's just like laughing maniacally as they go over a waterfall. And you're just like, well, you guys don't know anything. What are you doing?
You've been
the entire time in this movie for me.
Six minutes.
They're constantly questioning everybody else and trying to do something that they think will service them with no information.
I think this is the point in where the movies turn, and they're like, you can tell like they're trying to like, I mean, like, brain rot's a modern term, but it's like make every scene like a Shrek and Donkey like conversation where there's like a line for the trailer where someone can be like a little bit stupid and out of character, but they like do it too much. And I'm like, can you just like get to the plot?
Yeah, there are a lot of horny jokes in this one too.
Yeah, there
I've noticed
are.
like a lot.
Just
Like, I'm like,
so,
why are we
it's
joking
so
about?
like you're like, what in the middle? Why right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Joss Whedon thingy where I'm like, this is not the time to be like, is he behind me? Like, can you just like be normal for a second?
Yeah. Joss Whedon's a good comparison. Like, there's like the scene of the pirates looking up Elizabeth's skirt, and then like the other. I'm like, that like
Yeah.
it's a little too far for me. Like, it's funny, but also like it's
For
a
me, it
little
was like
weird.
hit like the ship is like I was like the ship he can just be like a prisoner on the ship of like other like dead pirates. Like, why does it have to be like all him and they're all drunk? Like, so weird.
What point?
The purgatory scene where it's just like a million jacks.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, it just feels like it's like forced gags and doesn't feel like in the other movies it feels like natural sense of humor, and this one feels like it's leaning into like, let's just like do Minecraft jokes for the kids so that they're all like laughing in the theater, and you're like, I don't like this.
The Jack thing is interesting, him having visions of himself, because I think in general these movies do a pretty good job at like expanding pirate lore, but I was kind of confused. Like, he was going crazy, so he was seeing himself, but then they continue that through this movie, but then they never address it again.
Yeah.
Was it just like a minute of psychosis? Like, what happened? I don't know.
He went to therapy.
Yeah, I guess.
Like you touched on, Xander, this movie was like, you miss Jack, here's Jack, but this is the turning point in the franchise where they start over-tuning Jack. He becomes almost like too much of a character of the character he was. He was still ridiculous and weird and outlandish in the first two, but he also had an element of intelligence, and he would be serious in situations. And at this point, then going forward in the next two movies, he's just like wacky and zany for like no reason all the time.
It's a pretty exponential curve for the trajectory of that on his character, and it definitely starts here.
Yeah, it's like when you guys always complain about how like different Doctor Strange is from like Doctor Strange 1 to Doctor Strange 2, and it's like, I've never noticed that, but when you do watch them back to back, you're like, oh, you're like, that's like, they were really just going for the most extreme side of one of his like dimensions and not the other, so it just feels really weird.
Now, I will say there is some good Jack stuff here. One of the bits that I do quite like is him making Elizabeth the Pirate King. Once again, insane for her to put herself up to be Pirate King.
Yeah, why wouldn't she just say Jack?
She has no idea what's going on. She shows up and she just goes, yeah, I know what's going on here. I love the chaos of Jack, and that he knows. I was maybe going to bring this up in the next one, but I feel like Jack is sort of like the X-Men character Domino, where his ability is just luck, and he just fucks his way through life and shit just works out for him. I really like that. I think it's really charming and really fun. And I feel like that's one of the great moments where you just go, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
And it works out for him.
Believe in the Hail Mary.
That's right.
Yeah, it's funny because it is, to your point, it is luck, but I almost do believe that he's smart too, and that he's like planning it. Like he's more of like a Sherlock Holmes type character to me, just like not as idiosyncratic, but I kind of like feel like he's like, it's all part of the grift. Like he knows that he's doing it the whole time, you know, like he knows what the outcome is going to be, or at least that's
He's
what
playing
I
like
hope.
50 steps ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say he's like Bugs Bunny. Like he just be doing shit, and like he gets a shotgun blast to the face, but guess what? In the next scene, his face is fine and he's okay. Like I just like that's what I kind of like about it. Like I feel like it's like he's that character now, which is fine. But at least it's still like kooky and fun, you know.
Now, as far as the plot goes, definitely messy, but I think expanding upon the Davy Jones backstory is pretty interesting, right? He shirks his responsibility, and that's why he turned into a little octopus demon. I think there's some interesting lore development there. I'm with Dylan about the Calypso introduction, then is maybe one thing too many. Barbossa being her servant is maybe one thing too many. It goes a little bit too far.
Yeah, and I love that Davy Jones specifically. Like, we get a really good moment when he like turns back to Bill Nighy. And I think,
we get to see like what he was like before he turned into a monster.
Yeah. I also like the element of like Bootstrap forgetting Will, but Will still fighting for him. Because that's what the B plot, A, B, C, D, E. I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah, it's one of the letters.
Plots. You got J.
Yeah. So I like a lot of that. I don't really fully follow Elizabeth's motivation in this movie. her kind of being obsessed with her dad after not giving any care or thought to him in the first two movies makes no sense. So that's a little confusing. And obviously I love Will and Elizabeth, but I love them in the first two movies and a bit more in my head than their story actually winds up being. I think the idea of getting married during a pirate fight is amazing, but I don't really think we see their relationship blossom outside of being mistrustful of one another, and then they just get married because they love each other. But like, they kind of don't want to mess with each other for the whole first 2/3 of this movie. Yeah. And then it's like, oh yeah, we love each other.
I love that sequence, Barbossa marrying them. Just again, Barbossa, big freak, love him. I think you're so right though. It feels really unearned because they hardly interact positively in this movie.
Yeah, they kind of don't like it. Like
they're both lying to each other. They're both skeptical, right? Will betrays them all with the little British guy, and Elizabeth killed Jack and lied to him about it, and he thinks she's in love with Jack and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't feel super earned at the moment when they do get married, even though that is a fun bit.
It's cool. And I love them together, so it's fine. But
I will say that entire Maelstrom sequence is probably one of my favorite in the entire franchise. Like you alluded to the wheel scene in the second one being like one of your favorite ever. I love that sequence. I don't know why. It's just something about it. The weather and atmosphere, and they're just riding around in the Maelstrom fighting. It was just so cool to watch. I love it.
No. That sequence rules. I agree. Now, you might ask yourself, what happened to Calypso? She showed up, she made the Maelstrom, and she disappeared. I thought she was going to kill everybody, but whatever.
Yeah. They make a big point of being like, hey, Davy Jones is the one who betrayed you. You know, this is why you're like this. And then she's just like, all right, I'm going to make a storm and I'm going to kill everybody. And then you're like, all right, sure. And then you never see her again, never talked about again in the franchise.
Yep.
My OneNote says, the giant lady, LMFAO.
Yep.
Because like she just randomly gets big. That's like another thing I don't like. Like Tia Dalma is such a cool character by herself. I was like, it's like overcomplicating the lore for no reason.
Yeah, I kind of wish it wasn't Calypso. It was just her that Davy Jones fell in love with, but I guess he needed to be cursed. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
There's too many things going on here.
Yeah.
In the final sequence, Beckett's ship getting destroyed and him walking down the stairs in slow motion before the final explosion, I think is an incredibly iconic, visually stunning sequence.
Yeah, very good.
Amazing. I love it.
It's so good.
That is one thing I will say about this. I don't feel like we spend enough time with any of the antagonists in this movie. So like it's too much time with 15, 16 double crosses and different plots going on that you never like. Beckett's motivation is like, yeah, I want to wipe out the pirates for the East India Trading Company, and I have Davy Jones working for me. And it's like, okay, that's really all your motivation. There's like, it feels really weird compared to how like, it feels too grandiose, I guess, compared to kind of like the personal stakes in the first two movies.
I was just about to say, Tristan, it's not personal, and I think that's a big problem, right?
Yeah, and I don't really like the way that they like tie Norrington back into it.
It just dies, R.I.P.
Yeah, like I'm glad that he like kind of makes the last right decision, but he also just kind of like dies and does nothing. And
it's got too many characters, too many double crosses. That'd be my review. But overall, there's still some good stuff in here. All right, where do you guys want to rank it? I think
bottom.
I will put
bottom
it third,
for now.
Right where
third.
Right where it came out in.
All right, easy unanimous decision. It's still solid. It's still, Gore still delivered on some of the action and some of the spectacle here. It's let down more so, I think, by the script.
I had never seen this one. So my last two bullet points are not Will dying. Will, I love you.
Yeah. Similar to how I feel about the second one, and I don't like Jack dying. This movie I did watch as a younger person, and I was devastated as like a Will Turner stan. I feel like I didn't really, like the curse thing is not satisfying. I get why they did it, but it's so sad.
We talked, it's funny we didn't even bring this up because it's a huge plot point of the movie, but yeah, we talked earlier about how Jack is actually kind of a good person deep down. Like, he's still a pirate. He's still like a little scummy, but he wants the immortality for himself for most of the movie. That's his motivation. And at the end, it's like, give it to Will or he's dead. He saves Will.
Yeah.
Now you could argue he condemned him to a life of servitude, but he kept him alive.
Otherwise he would die. Yeah.
Yeah. And he got to have his moment on the beach with Elizabeth. She put that boot on right in his face.
going back to being a very, they're pushing those PG-13 bounds for a Disney movie.
Yeah.
2007.
Sure.
I miss it. They'll never do that again.
No.
No, they won't.
All right, next up on the list, On Stranger Tides, 2011. Quick synopsis about this one. Jack Sparrow is roped into a plot to find the Fountain of Youth because they believe he's found it before.
I'm going to start off with saying that I had not seen this one or the next one until we watched them for this podcast. And I had only heard bad things about both of them. I was pleasantly surprised with this one. I don't think it's the perfect movie, but I was pleasantly surprised by this one.
I had a similar experience too. I hadn't seen them either. Again, I've only really heard negative things. I can see why, having watched both of them now. But I liked this one. I thought it was okay. It's definitely, there's a separation, I think, between the peaks of the series and this. But I also think that it's a pretty serviceable Pirates movie.
I found it really boring. Like,
Tristan's coming out swinging. No, get him, Tristan, get him. I don't care.
For this movie, I did watch this when it came out in theaters, and it was just such a departure for me from the series. You don't have a lot of iconic characters. Like in this one, like just none of the cast of characters outside of Jack is like really memorable to me. They try and, fit these characters into the mold of characters from the previous 3 movies, and it doesn't work for me. For me, I think the Pirates of the Caribbean movies work better when Jack's plot is not the primary plot. He is kind of like a 1B in terms of plot. He should not be like the driving plot motivator of a movie.
I do think he works better in an ensemble. That being said, and again, maybe it's just comparatively speaking, I don't think he's as egregious in this one as maybe the next one as far as his character goes. He's still like a bit more grounded than he becomes. But I do agree with you that I miss the Will, Elizabeth, Jack trio dynamic here. I think there's some good stuff with the Penelope Cruz character, actually. The idea of the scorned lover and who's grifting who. Again, they're really into the double crosses here. They really love them. There's some interesting plotting there, or at least potential plotting there that maybe is not fully lived up to. But I still think, at least as far as the premise of like, Blackbeard has heard a prophecy. Again, talking about big pirate lore. They're like, cool, who's the most famous pirate of all time? Blackbeard. Cool, he's in this movie. He's got a magic sword and ship, whatever.
Never explained.
He's heard a prophecy. No,
never explained.
He's heard a prophecy that he's going to be killed by a one-legged pirate. So he's decided that his salvation is to find the Fountain of Youth. I think that's a pretty decent setup. And then they go, Jack Sparrow's got the compass. He's been there before. Maybe he can lead us there. And that's how we get on this adventure. And I think maybe it's a little bit more Indiana Jones than it is Pirates in terms of the construction of the movie. But I still think it's a pretty serviceable plot, if not groundbreaking or incredible.
Yeah, there's a little, again, too much going on. Mm-hmm. I love the actor, but like, who cares about Sam Claflin's little missionary character? And like the mermaids, it's like, I get they need a tear, but it's like a little too much for no reason. I think Jack is still fun in this one. It feels kind of like a direct to DVD sequel where like you focus on a side character, even though it is Jack. Like it's just like Jack's adventure one off. And I don't hate that. I think the stuff in London in the beginning of this movie is actually really good.
I agree with you. I love that sequence.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite scene in the movie. Sequence.
This is where I wrote down Jack as Domino, because this sequence, him dropping the napkin on the floor, all that stuff. I think that's a really fun setup, and it feels like he's the luckiest man in the world, but I kind of love it.
I don't really like Barbossa in this movie. Like it's cool once or twice, but it's like too much.
I like him. He's a really fun character, but yeah, I maybe it's just I don't like him in the stupid English wigs.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just as simple as that, but I don't like it.
Yeah, he becomes like a farce and he's not like himself. It's the same with Jack. Like it's just like, let's just make this person like stupid and like this little cartoon character, and it's like they just have no grounded sense of self anymore.
I do like the Angelica character though a little bit for like pulling Jack back to his past a little bit. Like we get a little droplet of Jack history, which I liked, and I actually think she's pretty good in the movie, like her character and also her performance. It's fun to have that type of female pirate in the movies because obviously Elizabeth becomes a pirate and Calypso's in it, but like there's not a lot of fun like female characters in the franchise. And to Dylan's point earlier, like I think that my fear nowadays is like the Supergirl
The girl
boss.
boss,
Yeah.
yeah.
And she doesn't quite feel that way. She's like fun and sexual, and like there's like added elements to her. She's not just a strong pirate girl, which I like and I have fun with.
She's trying to reunite with her father, and now he's gonna die and she wants to save him. You're like, okay, I can get on board with this.
But I kind of hate that everyone, like, she is the daughter of a pirate, you know?
Yeah,
Like, she can't just be a pirate.
They love that plot point, don't they? They love a save your dad. Yeah. Everyone in the movies always is trying to save their dad, except for Jack. He's the only one that at some point doesn't try and save their or avenge their dad.
Well, his dad
is
is like
his dad's
a
in it?
weird mystical figure that appears and disappears.
Yeah, I forgot. Is
about
that his
that,
dad?
yeah.
Like, I couldn't figure that out if that was real or
I think
not.
so. I think he calls him dad.
Yeah, he
calls
does.
him
I'm just
dad
like,
at
is that
World's
just like a
End.
thing?
And then his mom is a dried human skull.
Yeah.
I love the fact that she was doing Jack Sparrow drag and everyone thought it was him.
Yeah, that bit is funny.
Like I
That
like
was
just
fun.
love like I love when it like you can there's like a little bit of a glint of like what the movies used to be.
It's very Elizabeth
you're
over.
like oh
Yeah.
like it's like not like you're not like all the time, which maybe makes those moments a little bit more special, but also just like what could have been. But
That sequence harkens back to me to the blacksmith fight, though not quite as good, but there's some fun design in that sequence.
Yeah, they do basically the same thing up on the raft.
Yeah. I will say I do have in here, I think the action significantly drops off in the second half.
Other than the London fight, I think this movie's action is not that great.
Yeah, it's really just those two fight sequences that stand out at all.
And they're in the first half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really falls off later on. The mermaid sequence is not very memorable in any way.
Yeah, noticeable fall off from like shooting on location. Wide shots, we get like they're still in boats and they're still on water, but everything's close up.
They pumped a lot of fog in.
Yeah, like you can tell it's on a set. But I will say, to give it some credit, more so than a lot of Disney live action movies nowadays, it doesn't look terrible. I think the next one looks worse.
no, it looks really good. I was gonna say I think this is the one where you can tell that Disney was like, this is a franchise now and not like its own thing, because I was like, I am like the biggest Rob Marshall stan in the world, but I'm like, Rob Marshall for this, I was like, that's just because he's like in-house, you know, he's like doing your musicals. Like that's such a weird choice to me. And you can tell that gore is like noticeably missing from the taste factor a little bit.
Yeah, I think especially when it comes to the action, like this is more choreographed, but it's not as good at like action.
But it's also just like, I feel like Rob Marshall is like all big spectacle, but it's just like they're just like CGI soaked. And that's, I mean, it gets worse in the next one, but he didn't do that one. But you know what I mean? You can like tell like it's like losing the craftiness of the first three movies.
There's a lot more cuts in the action sequences.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like, and you know, maybe, I don't know, I can't speak to it, but it felt like in the first three, you know, Will, Orlando Bloom, and Johnny Depp were actually the ones, you know, doing the sword fighting. In this one, it's just like there's so many cuts. You're like, yeah, I don't know who's doing this. You know, like it just doesn't flow as well.
I fully agree, and I don't like cutty action sequences very often. I think there's a time and a place for it, but it's not really my sensibility. I mean, I grew up on like Jackie Chan, and I like that wide shot, let's see the action thing. But I also think even in the dialogue and things here, to your point, Jordan, we're in a lot more close-ups. Everything is more cutty here. And you said it in about the first movie that it feels like we're really immersed in this world. I think we've really lost the immersion starting here, where you can tell that it's a bit more makeshift rather than we're like living in this pirate's life. You know what I mean?
One thing positive about this movie, I actually do quite like the Jack and Gibbs relationship arc through this one. I think when you lose Will and Elizabeth, to have Jack kind of be alone in this one could have really been bad, but I like the way that him and Gibbs interact, and it gives a little bit of an arc to both of those characters, which I like. I also really like the performance of the actor who plays Gibbs. I think he does a good job.
Yeah.
I think Blackbeard's a little boring.
He doesn't feel threatening, and outside of that first sequence where he has the magic sword that controls rope, and he uses it one time and then they're on land and he just doesn't feel threatening ever again. He has zombies also for some reason.
I also say I like the mermaid scene because, I was eating that up, but that's just me being me. I saw supermodels in the water and I was like, you know what? Actually, this gets an extra star.
Supermodels in the water killing men.
I like the idea of mermaids. I had the thought watching the early ones that I was surprised that there wasn't like a hint of a mermaid in the first three, but I feel like they were kind of underutilized. And
that's what I just get, there's so many things where you're just like, oh, this thing is so cool. And then it goes to the next scene and then you just never see that again. You're like, oh.
A lot of cutaways too in like story moments in this one where like something's about to happen and then it cuts to different characters and it's just kind of like whatever. And then all the real action happens off screen and then you cut back to those characters and something has happened.
One set piece that I thought was a really cool setup that was just not utilized is the tilting ship when Barbossa and Jack are on that and they're trying to get the treasure, but if they take something from one side, it unbalances the ship. That's a great premise for a little action sequence. And they just they throw 2 coins across the ship and that counterbalances. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, not a lot of fun. The climax too, like the final, like the Fountain of Youth is kind of boring. Also, in my opinion.
That brings me to, I think I told this to you yesterday, Xander. I was like, why did we even bother introducing the Spanish? They were in 4 scenes, like 3 and a half.
They love too many characters in these now. That's where they got to in movie 3 and they keep it going.
It's just like, it could have been filled by the British. It could have been, that one character who was in the first 3 movies who unceremoniously gets shot in the chest. But yeah, like, I don't know why they open with the Spanish. Like, you think they're going to kind of serve the role of the British in this movie.
Yeah.
And then they just don't do anything.
Yeah, it is really weird that they're even a part of it. Like, they basically play no role until the very end and they're just like a mic drop and then they leave. Yeah, like, it's weird.
It's like a bit fun that they just rock up and you think that they're here to get it for themselves and they just go, no one should have this power, burn it down. Yeah, kind of fun, but also just like, kind of pointless as well.
My thing was like, as somebody who watched all of them over the course of 2 days, going into this movie, I was like, are they just gonna introduce some like name drop some pirate and then he's the big bad and they're gonna go find something? That's exactly what it was.
That's what it was.
And then I finished it and I was like, God, I hope that's not what happens.
Hey,
I was like, who are they gonna pull? But I just was like feeling I was like, they're just like not doing anything new, which is also sad. But yeah, I feel like at this point I was like, I don't know if I would have said yes to another one, but I guess for him, $90 million paycheck, and also for Disney $1 billion, like, I guess why not? But yeah, I was getting exhausted by the end of this one.
All right, where do you guys want to rank this one? Number 1?
It's last for sure for me, right? No.
Dead ass last.
Yeah. Bottom. Dylan?
Yeah, I'd say bottom 2. As of now.
Unanimous decision. Last up on the list for today, the 5th and final Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Dead Men Tell No Tales from 2017.
God, I wish I was dead watching this.
Quick synopsis for this one. Will and Elizabeth's son is trying to break the curse on Will serving on the Flying Dutchman by finding Poseidon's trident, a MacGuffin that miraculously breaks all curses of the sea.
And it doesn't matter who breaks it.
The perfect MacGuffin to end a franchise.
And he gets the help of Jack Sparrow to find it.
And Karina.
All right, let's start positive.
Where do we rank?
Let's start positive. Where do we rank this one, guys? Let's start positive, right? I think it was probably a bit smart to save Will and Elizabeth's child for a movie if you were going to do more. And I think bringing that back and tying that in actually makes some sense. The premise of Will is stuck on the Dutchman and the son wants to free him fully makes sense for a plot for a Pirates movie.
It's almost like that's exactly what Will's plot was.
Yeah. What?
They love a save your dad plot. It's all they know. It's all they know. I think it's a fine premise. And I also like the idea of he's heard legends of this pirate Jack Sparrow. Not from his mom, by the way. Suspicious.
Yeah.
But he wants to find him to do it. I think all of that is fine and good.
Yeah.
And then I think we have to wait like about an hour for that to transpire and for the movie to start.
So much time in Saint Martin just doing nothing.
Literally.
They spend like an hour and a half like running, like escaping, getting caught, escaping again, getting caught.
Yeah, this is the someone's in a jail cell, someone's tied up, someone's handcuffed to a bed, then they're not, then they're tied up by somebody else somewhere else, pretty much over and over and over again.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'm going to start with positives. I like Henry and I like Karina. I think both of them are interesting characters that are underutilized, unfortunately, but could have been something bigger. I actually like both of the actors. I like both of the base storylines for them.
He feels like he could have been Will and Elizabeth's kid. I think good casting.
Yeah, and I feel like
That's exactly what I said.
The two of them with Jack could have been really interesting. It's all the other bullshit that I cannot stand in this movie. I think like even from the beginning, I have not seen the movie, but what Xander kept saying, the Fast Five,
Yeah, they did a Fast Five.
steal. It's like, come on, like who cares?
I like that part.
It just
I think it looks cool.
It's probably the only good action set piece in the movie, and it's still not very strong.
but it's all for a joke. Like literally, they don't even get it. Like that means nothing for the plot. They just do it, and
It's
then there's
why
nothing.
the pirates ditched Jack, even though
showing
they've
he's
never
bad
once
luck.
in any of the movies successfully gotten any treasure.
Anything, yeah. So I don't know. And then we have to talk about Javier Bardem.
Salazar.
Yeah.
Just always has a
Huge-
permanent cup of water in his mouth while acting in this movie.
Feel bad for him.
Javier Bardem is a great actor.
Amazing.
He's also a great villain specifically. He's done a lot of really iconic villain roles. I think where they went really wrong with this is just like, they've broken their own continuity with this. Maybe you wouldn't notice this, this movie came out significantly after the other ones, but having watched them all back to back to do this podcast, the logic of the compass thing makes no fucking sense. He gets it from Calypso in the other movies, it's explained. Also, he gives the compass away multiple times in the other movies.
Yeah.
But then this time when he gives it away, it frees them. Or why would that make them try? Nothing makes any sense. And it takes so long to explain who or
that's
what they
explained
are.
in like the last 45 minutes of the movie.
I was just like, why is his hair floating?
I thought that too, but then you don't learn until that he drowned to die, and that's why he's just like in
that's
water.
obvious to me, but also everyone else that was a pirate in the other movies drowned and their hair wasn't floating in the sky.
Guys, the compass did it.
Also, they keep zombie sharks on their boat.
I like that. That's cool.
Why would they have sharks?
Why not?
They're like a Spanish frigate, and they're like, we keep sharks.
Oh, but like what? Were they alive on the boat and then they died? So that's why they're also cursed, or were they
torpedo.
outside the boat? Like what happened?
It's like a naturalistic torpedo to them.
I guess.
It's part of the lore.
I guess.
That scene where they're running across the water out of the boat, it was just so bad.
I said it about the last one. I think they've done an Indiana Jones again here, right? They've created a mythical artifact MacGuffin, and they've gone on a quest to get it.
For me, I was gonna say your most cursed movie ever, but it was giving Rise of Skywalker to me, where like it was just like I was like, what is going on? Like we're just like flying through nonsense, and then there's this thing at the end, and then there's all this like lore that defeats the other lore that doesn't make any sense, and then she's his daughter. I was like,
Yeah, the map that no man can read except for Barbosa made it.
Yeah,
He was there
But
already.
Barbosa-
And he
it's like,
took the
girl, what?
Barbosa fucks.
yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
Very Palpatine. Like it's so akin to Rise of Skywalker, and that where you're like, wait, Palpatine did what?
Yeah.
And then it's like Barbosa did what? And it,
Dude, when the movie starts, you're like, somehow Barbosa returned.
Yeah.
and
That's literally what that happened.
literally the bit, it's so akin to Rise of Skywalker. I'm almost like wondering if J.J. Abrams watched this while writing this movie, because literally the end, Karina goes, she's like, it's Barbosa, and I was just immediately like, oh my god, it's like Rey saying Rey Skywalker at the end of Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, Dylan, that's a good shout.
That's a really good.
Because it is similar in the way of, to their credit and maybe not to their credit, I think maybe they knew they had no plot here. So the solution to that was just make it as rip-roaring, stuff's happening all the time so you don't notice.
What do you mean you have no plot though? They have plenty of plot.
But they didn't do anything with it.
But they could have.
No, they could have, but like, you know, whatever the shooting script was, there's no beat to like scene to scene causation of what's happening. Karina just goes, we have to follow the stars in the map that no one can read. She never talks about what star until very late in the movie, right? Like, again, so much stuff just happens so late. There's no puzzle. They get there and they just go into the water and they just put the ruby that was on, you know what I mean? Like, we've talked about this before in movies. Something like Uncharted comes to mind. Sorry, Dylan, I'm about to shit on Uncharted.
I like that movie. It's okay.
Where instead of creating a puzzle that the characters have to solve, you just create a puzzle that they walk into the room and they go, well, the one thing we have fits in the one thing in this room and thus solves our problem. And then it's like, well, then why'd you even create the obstacle, right? It's like, this door is locked. Oh, hey, look, a key's on the ground. Oh, it unlocked the door. Cool. It's like, so then there might as well have not been a locked door. You could have just let them walk right in. And that's how this movie felt.
Yeah, two things too. You're comparing Rise of Skywalker, but to compare to Solo, why did we need to know why Captain Jack Sparrow is called Jack Sparrow? And Karina, her name is the star. It's just stupid. Like the way that you reveal both of those things in this movie just feels so lame. Like it just feels
he gets his hat, he gets his compass. Again,
literally he wears in his hair.
Yeah, the beads, come from the other. It's so stupid. It's literally so stupid.
Also unsettling scene seeing Johnny Depp like vaguely CGI de-aged, but kind of not. And then it's like, how old is he supposed to be here?
Yeah, it's so weird. They should have just cast another actor.
I did like the final sequence with the ocean parted. Now, why that happened, there is no logic to. But
Moses was
the Black Pearl skating across the edge, dropping the anchor to pull them out, I think is actually... We're in the fifth pirate movie now, right? How many kind of different boat sequences can you come up with? I thought it was pretty creative. I thought there was some interesting visual stuff to be done there with they're in like the circle with the trident and the water is around them and it's slowly closing in. There's some fun to be had there. It doesn't necessarily look great in terms of the CGI itself, but it looks pretty good. And from a design perspective, I thought there's some fun to be had in that sequence, though it's not remarkable.
That's how I feel about this whole movie. Like there is some fun. I also like that Henry is very like obsessed with the curse because of like curses in general because of Will, and like he's obsessed with like pirate lore and stuff. And then she's very logical. Karina's like smart and logical and she doesn't believe in that stuff. I think that's a good character conflict. They basically do nothing with it. Mm-hmm. Once they get there, she's like, oh my God, there's ghosts.
She runs into the woods
and he's like, I told you magic existed. Like, okay.
I feel like this movie could have been good, you know, like you said, Jordan, we have the bones of like Will wanting to save, or Henry wanting to save Will. It's like, cool. It's like, if you're going to kind of commit to that, you should have brought back Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley for more than 3 scenes combined. Have them in the movie. You know, Elizabeth shows up as well doing, you know, she's a pirate lord. She's the lord of the pirates, as we all know, and then retires. Good pension.
Yeah, but that also makes no sense. She comes out the end in like her little ball gown dress, and I'm like, Pirate King, what happened to you?
Yeah,
she wanted it more than anybody.
She has Henry and just retires from doing anything ever. She has no personality. She's just like, okay, my husband's back. I slay.
I think the other cardinal sin of this one, not to be like so negative on it too, but we talked about how visually great the first 3 are. The fourth one takes a little hit in that department, but overall it still looks pretty good. This one does not.
One scene specifically that made me angry, because if it was in any of the 4 previous movies, it would not look this way, is the guillotine action sequence, because I actually think that's really cool. But why do we spend a full 60 seconds on Jack spinning in the guillotine and it's CGI? It's not even real. It's just Johnny Depp going, ah! And then the guillotine almost cuts his head off like over and over again. Like, come on. Like, it's kind of a fun idea, and there's like a little bit of cool action design. Karina's in the noose, and like everyone's trying to work together, but Henry swings in as a distraction. Like, it's kind of cool. There are elements there of good action
design.
Their
plan is to shoot Jack with a cannonball to save him.
And then there's that, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how physical comedy like immediately dies when it's not real.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
Like when he's like being tossed around like that, you're like, I'm not laughing.
Yeah, because
I'm not sad.
Yeah. But like him like walking in a different scene when it's real on something
him
funny.
Just
like,
tripping, holding the jar of dirt in the second one.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, and I think we talked about this earlier about starting at the third movie. I personally think Jack has lost his touch in this one.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think we're having fun anymore. I'm not having fun anymore with the character. There's something off about Johnny's performance. It doesn't feel like we're losing the genuine aspects of Jack, which I think is what always makes him fun, is that he's like crazy and drunk and goofy, but he's also like smart and, you know, like kind
yeah.
at the end of the day. And like this one, he's kind of just nothing. He's just there. He has like a couple good moments with Henry, and that's really it. Yeah, just weird all around. And also, like, to, again, the point that we were talking about earlier, like, I do like the Karina character. I think there are some interesting elements to her. But at the end of the day, she is a character whose only flaw is that she doesn't know who her dad is. Okay, Ray Skywalker.
Yeah.
And Will Turner.
Yeah.
There's a lot of retreading going on here.
I just wish she was like, Elizabeth is an interesting character because she's flawed. She makes rash decisions. She's hard-headed. She's kind of like smart but stupid. And then Karina's just like smart and good at everything. She's just telling it. Like, she's never been a pirate before, and yet she's just like, yeah, guys, like, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Also,
okay.
I love them both, but they both have like iPhone face, and it's like very prominent to me. Like, it's like, I love Wuthering Heights and movies like that, but I was watching it and I was like, okay, you can tell this is like coming out during like Teen Beat magazine era, where they're just like, get the two prettiest people that exist.
I thought Henry's casting was really good, though. He looks like Kira and Orlando.
Yeah.
And the performance from him as well.
Yeah, I think both of them are good.
He's giving a bit of that stubbornness, that hard-headedness from the both of them. Yeah, I don't know. I think the cardinal sin of this is not very fun. I mean, I'm a big fan of the first two movies specifically, and even the third movie that I think is not quite as strong as those, I still think it's quite fun. And this one is just not very fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like no one's heart was in it other than the two new young actors. I do feel like their heart was in it, and I liked their performances, but I feel like from a design, like it kind of just felt like puppeting a corpse. You know, like we're just like making a different Pirates movie. Like people weren't like down and excited to be doing another Pirates movie, which is sad.
I just kept writing corny. Like the Trent, what is it, Trident of Poseidon, I was like corny. I was like the ships in the bottle that they crack open and they get big, I was like corny.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the other movies have such interesting take on the lore, and this one's like just corny. It's like I'm surprised there's no magic conch.
Yeah.
No, I would have liked that. Hey.
Pirate 6.
You know, maybe there was. The Magic Conch said, hey, Magic Conch, what do we do for this movie? And the Magic Conch said, nothing. And that's what they did.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can call something where you pay your number one actor on the call sheet $90 million a cash grab, but it felt like it.
It was a cash grab for him. He grabbed that up.
This one, I think 4 is better than this one. I don't really care for this one that much.
I think there's a significant drop off from the first 3 to the fourth one. And then I think there's another significant drop off from the fourth one to the fifth one. I'm actually surprised that my perception of them was that they were both kind of on par, because I hear the gripes about the fourth one, and I don't think it lives up to the trilogy. I think that it's still significantly better than this one.
And they killed Barbossa. And it's just like, whatever.
Yeah, he died again. Don't bring him back.
He'll be back.
Well, we were all unanimous except for Jordan on one of them.
Yeah. I'm sad about Karina and Henry because I love them, and I feel very similarly to how I feel about Ray and Kylo, but like wasted. Like, it's
Man,
just
Dylan,
like,
you really dropped a bomb with that one.
it's just wasted. But like, it's such a good point. Like, I think the introduction of those characters could have been like a handing off of the baton to a new set of Pirates movies in a way, like Star Wars. But
I always think of it
rest.
like when I watch movies like that, it's like when you're like about to sneeze and you just keep doing this. And you're like rocking back and forth, and then the movie just ends and you're like, I never sneeze. like there's little inklings of like a fire starting, but
There's a little pepper, but it's not enough to make
then
the
it's
sneeze
like
come out.
and then it just ends, and you're like, so you didn't even like satisfy like a single thing, you know?
yeah.
The Rats on Film official ranking, objectively in our opinion, for the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, starting from the bottom: Dead Men Tell No Tales, On Stranger Tides, At World's End, The Curse of the Black Pearl, and The Big Cheese, Dead Man's Chest. I don't know if there's any hot takes other than most people, I think the first one is the best. So I guess the general consensus by people is that it's just release order. They just kept getting worse and worse as they went on.
Yeah, well,
But we don't think that on Rats on Film.
pretty close,
Yeah, pretty close,
but not.
Yeah, they went up a step and then they jumped off the ladder.
I think if I was Disney, if I'm rebooting the franchise, I think what I would do is like I feel like you got to get gore back. That's like my vibe. Like even for the first iteration of whatever you want to do next, like we need to like re-inject some sauce into those movies.
Yeah, I would love to see the franchise continue in some way, just because I feel like there's a lot of potential.
You know, it doesn't have to be this franchise either. You could just make it a pirate. Someone else can make a Pirates movie.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening to Rats on Film, everybody. Tell a friend about the show where a bunch of little rats talk about and rank movies. You can follow us, social media, Rats on Film Pod, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Let us know what you think of the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. What's your favorite? Do you like 2 as well? Do you think it's underrated? Do you think 5 is good?
How do you feel about the treatment of rats in the last one?
True. I forgot to bring that up. That pissed me off when that little witch threw it in the fire. Bad.
Anyway, these movies are so fun and nostalgic, and I had fun even watching the bad ones. So
True.